Look.
Listen.
Taylor.
Guys, welcome one and all to episode 167. Look, listen, cast. Geese, Guyera, Taylor, Michael, Geese Peep, all of them. That's Geese Peep. Say hello, Geese Peep.
Hi.
Say hello, Taylor.
Hello.
And I'm Michael. And now we're going to discuss episode 111 of Pokemon The Horizons anime. Also, other things. Taylor, would you like to discuss other things or Pokemon first this week?
I love other things in Pokemon. It doesn't roll off the tongue well, but it rolls off
the heart.
The flow. Yeah, the heart.
Yeah.
Rolls off the soul.
Okay, guys, look, this is a very entertaining podcast. You're going to be rolling on the floor laughing, entertained, not bored for a second. Everybody loves it. So why don't you go ahead and just leave like and comment now because you know you're going to love it. Come on, guys, please.
Put your questions in the comments.
Yeah,
but we need to check in on Geese. We haven't heard from her in weeks.
Everybody calm down. Taylor, I have a very important question to ask you before we move on to Geese of the Week, what we've all been peeping.
I have a very important answer.
Clearly and obviously, this episode is going to be part 2 of last week's part 1, the GameStop Shiny Koraidon Miraidon saga. My question to Taylor is, because I am now a primary source in this entire debacle, I am on the front lines speaking and getting replies from both parties, GameStop and Joe Serby. My question to Taylor is, do we save it for Poké-news of the Week, or do we immediately open the show with it? Taylor.
I think we open the show with it, because it's what you've been goofing. I'm going to give you my important answer of the week, which is you made the big mistake of giving GameStop an out. That was your mistake. You're the equivalent of the defendant being on the stand sweating because the prosecutor's like, where were you the night of the murder or whatever? And the person's like, well, I don't. And the prosecutor says, oh, were you having like a really bad day? So maybe you drank too much at home by yourself.
And the defendant's leading the witness.
Defendant's like, oh, yeah. That's what I was doing. And the prosecutor's like, oh, yeah, so you probably wouldn't have anybody who could corroborate that story because you were drinking alone because you were really stressed. And the defendant's like, yeah. Exactly, like he said.
Why is Judge Geese Peep sustaining clear leading the witness is what I want to know. We're going to start with the good news. Here's the wonderful, fantastic news. Everybody calm down. I currently have a shiny Miraidon and a shiny Koraidon.
Fantastic.
So everybody can calm down.
Fantastic news and where to hear it. Here we are.
Yep. Taylor, do you have a shiny box legendary, a bicycle lizard, some call it?
I played smart this time. I was in Midtown. I was at the gym when this released. I was on a very tight schedule. I had to go home, take care of my poor mother. On the way home, I look up the sketchiest part of town I can find because I'm thinking, hey, scalpers are going to go anywhere for this, but there is a limit. They will not enter certain areas. So I went the sketchiest. Oh, it was sketchy. But everybody was really excited to see me going into the GameStop, which was completely empty. They had this place ready for a war zone. I'm sure they saw your tweets. And this guy goes, oh, did you call on the phone earlier? And I said, that I did, sir. And he said, oh, here you go. He had already printed it out.
Oh, my God.
And I was the first person to get a code.
That's wonderful because Taylor, okay, I have so much to say, but we should give people just a baseline if they're unfamiliar.
Yes.
Here's the quick, dirty, too long, didn't read rundown. There was a big giveaway, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Shiny Miraidon, Koraidon, the legendaries on the box, right? Okay. They ran out immediately when they first released it and just gave it to a bunch of trading card game scalpers. Everybody's upset. Millions of people complaining, writing emails, making videos. Me included, Taylor included. We're all
Me too.
Here. So then
I'm even included, and I didn't play
Geese.
Pokemon Go or Pokemon.
As Arnold Schwarzenegger would say, that's what you call collateral damage.
Exactly. So we're all complaining. We're losing. Joe Serby on the front lines with me, Michael. We're having the battle of a lifetime. Out of this, and keep in mind, this happens one day after GameStop on the phone said to me, we're not getting restocks, dude. Stop asking. So next day, big announcement on Serapy. Taylor, I have so many I love my short and sweet TLDR story here I'm making.
Yeah, exactly.
Very next day, I have a million plans. I got to play Ghost of Yōtei. Spoilers for Poketaka, what I did a week ago. Big spoilers. I'm trying to go to Royal Raiders, just trying to get a couple mega
necessary
Metagross. Did it happen? Of course not, because I get a tweet I see a notification, GameStop, restock right now. We're rushing. We're going. And then I read, oh, it's a receipt. So I'm calling Taylor and saying, Taylor, they restocked right now. And then I read, oh, it's on a receipt. There's no hurry at all. Sorry for calling you. It wasn't a big hurry. Immediately, I get a reply from Joe Sarabi saying, alas, this is not the end of this because they're limiting it to 50 per store. Geese Peep can vouch for this. I've never left this apartment faster in my life.
It was wild. I see the notification from Michael that they're restocking. He calls me, he's like, can you get any? And I'm like, sorry, I cannot. I cannot. And then he's like, I'm running as fast as I can to the GameStop. 5 minutes pass, and I'm texting people. I'm like, hey, are you near GameStop? Like, can you do me a favor? Are you near GameStop? And then I'm like, oh, maybe Tom can get you a code. And he was like, I'm already at a GameStop. And I was like, wow. I don't even know how it was possible.
Funny thing is that I was in the middle of doing pull-ups. I do 2 pull-ups and I get additional info. Like you had called me or texted me and said there are only 50. I look like the biggest weakling. I mean, pull-ups are actually quite hard. Don't give yourself a hard time. You can't do a pull-up. But I do 2 and just leave the gym very quickly. So everybody in there must have looked at me and been like, oh, that was too many pull-ups, I guess.
He couldn't do it.
Yeah, I got embarrassed.
Oh my God. I jump off the bus and just sprint into the games and rip the door open. And the man looks at me and the first words out of my mouth are you limiting them? And they said, yeah. And this is very important for the story. I said, why? And the man said to me, it's not our decision. It's Pokemon. And I, of course, don't believe him. But footnote this is very important detail later. Get my shiny code cards, or get my shiny receipt, whatever. Rush to another GameStop to get Taylor shiny. Unbeknownst to me, he did already get one. So luckily, I got my Japanese shiny. So that's great.
I have
great
2. I got 2 codes.
Perfect. This is great, wonderful news for the 2 of us.
I don't know how I'm going to cash in the second one because I only have Violet.
Do you want to? You can just start a save file on any Switch with my cartridge.
But by the time that he'll be there, the code will be expired.
He can text me the code.
Oh, right, right.
Oh.
Right.
I can give you a German one right now if you want it.
I don't, because of my heritage, you see.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, this isn't important. This is a vast, winding story. Everybody is so excited for 7.5 seconds that, oh my goodness, the people have won. We're getting shiny legendaries. We're not going to have to pay $80 on eBay to a scalper. We then quickly learn it's limited to 50 per store. And what ensues is the biggest Twitter firestorm messages back and forth between GameStop and Joe Sarabi and me the world has ever seen. And Joe Sarabi is saying, why would you do this? Every other place that prints them on codes in Europe has no limit to the codes. Everybody who wants one can get one. And GameStop is radio silent for hours until Joe Sarabi goes to sleep in England, and then they reply and said, not our decision, just like what was told me. And they're saying, yeah, that's Pokemon saying we can only give 50, which is not really true from what I've gathered, because I was trying to clarify with somebody else in the middle of this, and GameStop, the actual account, liked my tweet, which said, it sounds like what they are saying is they were given about 100,000 codes, give or take a few thousand, and then just decided to give 50 to each of their locations. So that way, like, I guess one store couldn't get all the codes. But
you're going to be on their official press release.
I don't think...
I mean, the prosecution rests, Your Honor. The defense rests, I guess.
I do not think that that's the best way to do it, because you're going to have these low volume stores that are going to get, like, I don't know, maybe 20 people show up. And then there's going to be a high volume store where 50 are gone within an hour. So people are still losing if they live in a big city. Maybe other people think, well, you get everything else in a big city, so maybe you don't get this one thing. But yeah, just get more codes, guys.
You know what? This whole saga over the past week, the highs and the lows, the peaks and the troughs, it has been, or the peaks and the valleys, crests and troughs, right? Yeah, the peaks and the valleys.
Horses eat at a trough.
Okay, my big takeaway from this event, and I hate it. I hate that this is my takeaway. I feel like such a maroon. I was devastated after not getting any codes.
The initial thing,
beyond
yeah.
incredulous, called 4 GameStops, disappointed for a week. The high I'm riding right now makes it worth it, and I don't like that. This should not be the adventure of getting a shiny.
Taylor, unfortunately, I have to admit something that I shouldn't even say publicly, but there is a part of me that's like, this is good.
Yeah.
It's because I don't look.
Listen,
Taylor, it's a shiny legendary.
Yes.
Putting in a little bit of work to get a shiny legendary,
and
I think,
it's
is
such a fun
end
story.
of the world.
I was in the middle of some condemned construction site with all these broken down cars around me, acting like I had just won the lottery holding a receipt. Like, that's such a moment in my life.
That's how I felt. He printed out the receipt. I brought my Switch and all the games with me. But the first time I've ever brought my Switch 2 out in public, because I returned the Switch 2 case, so I have to like unplug one of the Joy-Cons to make it fit in the Switch 1 case, and then like shove the other Joy-Con somewhere. But I'm like, I'm not taking any chances. I'm not waiting for like a key scraper to steal my code in case they want to ask for the Switch. So the second I get the receipt, I'm ripping my Switch 2 out of my backpack to mobile hotspot my Switch to my phone so I can just redeem the code the second I get it and make sure I'm safe. But Geese, please speak. You haven't had a chance to speak in hours.
I get wanting to have it be special, but I don't think it's fair to limit 50 per store because, like you said, there are people in the cities who didn't read the tweet and like couldn't run right away to a GameStop
the second it posted.
Yeah,
like me. I mean, what if I was at work? What if I was at sleep?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a million things.
I have a better reputation at the gym now.
Yep. You're completely correct. I don't think people should ascribe to my feeling of it makes it neater, that it's more limited. But it's whatever. It's whatever, guys.
This is so much more than I would have ever cared about anything else involving this game. So, boy.
All I'm saying is I would have rather Pokemon liked my tweet than GameStop because I'm fighting on the side of Joe Sarabee. I don't want to be on the side of GameStop. But anyway.
You are on the wrong side of the history right now.
I didn't mean to. It was an accident. I was merely following order. Okay. So just real quick, cut in audio difference. I can't believe I didn't mention all this because probably Geese Peep distracted me with a fish or looking at her phone.
Yeah, she did something. Guys, I went to the beach, and then 20-second pregnant pause.
Exactly. We didn't even touch on how obscene and absurd GameStop was handling the code restock in the fact that people were showing up with their friend, both with Pokemon games, so both excited to get their shinies, and GameStop said, sorry, boys, it's one per group. So just one person got the shiny, and then they had to go to a different GameStop. But then it got even worse. So I was going to ask you, already told me in the recording that they just had the receipt ready for you. Over here, you had to have a GameStop membership to get a code. They're getting everybody's information, everybody's phone number. So when I went to get you your code, I used your phone number. And it gets even worse. They literally said, oh, you're pre-approved for a credit card on you. I could have signed you up for a credit card with no authorization from you. Just if anybody knows your phone number, they can start taking out credit cards in your name from GameStop. But the most egregious is a man and his children walk into GameStop looking for some shiny codes. The man tells them, oh, you all need an individual GameStop membership. Sir, they're not 13. They're not old enough for GameStop membership. The employee says, oh, that's fine. Let me take out my personal cell phone. I'll photograph your children for my personal collection, and then you can have a shiny Koraidon and Miraidon. Absurd. Absurd the stuff going on.
Jesus. The weird thing, or an additional weird thing, there's so many weird things, is that these are the actions of a company that is small and unprepared for this. That's what it looks like to me. And it's weird that they have, 15, 20 years of information at their fingertips about the flow of customers at GameStop locations, how distributions have worked in the past, how midnight launches have worked. Like, you can estimate how many people you have. I'm surprised GameStop doesn't have any way of changing the amount of available codes instead of just being like, no, everybody gets 50.
Oh, they have a way to change it. They can tell the employees not to
Say
Say
no.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, this is just such a big flub. And I wish that, I understand that things like this have way more movement than I can understand superficially, but I wish that there weren't so many kind of fumbles when it comes to Pokemon events, because the first Pokemon Go event was a famous mess. These are apparently, from what I've read online, always messes. It's just interesting. GameStop can do better than this.
Yeah, it's the worst they've ever had, but also they fixed it. So that concludes our little break-in. I forgot to mention, thank you. Please enjoy us discussing the episode. See you later. Goodbye. Let's move on to Peep of the Week, what you make geesin. Geese Peep, we're going to start with you because you need to also be able to speak. Please go ahead. Thank you.
I'm sunburnt.
She went to the beach.
Look, okay, I went to the beach. It was supposed to be cloudy. It was supposed to start raining. It was cloudy for a while, and then the sun came out, and I was a fool, and I was like, I'm fine. I'm tan enough where I won't get sunburned. Wrong.
Geese.
My
Oh.
back, I'm so much pain. Also, I was snorkeling, and I was near like a little rocks, like a jetty,
Nice.
and I cut my thumb
Oh, no.
on a rock.
Oh.
And then so I get out of the water and I'm bleeding and I'm holding my thumb and I'm walking towards my mom to like ask her to help me.
And you're like groaning and she thinks you're a zombie.
Mhm.
No. And I'm walking and then I step in bunch of prickly guys,
Oh,
like
no.
burrs, and they're all over my feet.
Oh.
And I go with my other thumb to like take them off my feet, and then they get stuck in my other thumb. So I just walk towards my mom.
Such a
with one
Looney
thumb-
Tunes skit.
Yeah.
One thumb bleeding, the other one full of burrs. Anyway, all to say, I'm okay. And I went back to the beach today, actually, and I went snorkeling again, and I saw some fish.
She survived.
Shouts out to the fish.
Geese Peep, do you have something to say about Void Crew or Diablo or something?
I'll start with Void Crew.
Okay.
I played Void Crew last night with some friends of the show, and
Who?
I joined after.
Justin?
Justin loves Void Crew.
Yeah, I haven't played a video game with Justin in a long time.
Probably the Sims 2 Nightlife Edition.
No,
Oh.
actually, we played the new Mario Kart
There you go.
like several months ago.
Okay.
But it's a game where you're on a spaceship and you like all cooperate. There's like you can be an engineer or a gunner or whatever, captain.
Wait, like
It was
that
pretty-
other game?
I don't know what you're referring to.
There's a million games like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was fun and I'm gonna play more of it. Also, guys, we've all been waiting for it. Long time coming, but finally played Diablo.
Playing is in air quotes.
And it's a miserable experience because
It
Geese
is
Peep's
not.
lower leveled, so she needs to do her quests. And I'm not even attacking anybody. It's my gosh darn skeletons. They can't stop fighting, guys. And Geese Peep's getting annoyed because she can't even play the game because my skeletons are killing everybody. And I'm not allowed to talk to anybody because apparently that ruins the quest for her and doesn't let her see a cutscene, which makes zero sense to me.
No, okay. Listen. Listen.
Whoa.
That we could save so much time instead of saying, look, listen, we just go, listen. So
Awesome.
damage is normalized, right? Like
Sick.
it's all evened out, which is a great system, I guess. And you have to find a way to find joy in her experiencing the little parts of the game. Because if she gets excited about lore, that enhances our experience.
I am, and that was like the thing that because I wanted to take my time to read it, and so all this is to say we took a break from playing together, and I played it by myself for a bit. So
Geese, which I told you I would play with you.
No, this is before that. This was before that. This was a couple days ago.
Oh.
I got to level 26.
Whoa, Geese.
And then, like, I started dying because it's getting hard now. But here's what I'll say. It's good, mindless fun. And I'm excited to play with all of you with the DLC.
Well,
Since
we don't
you
even need to
guys-
wait till the DLC. We just wait till you're level 36, and then all three of us will be at the same level on the same quest line, and it'll be
I'll
fun.
I'll play way before then. I enjoy people being enthusiastic about anything. So if you're getting into little lore, talking to a blacksmith's apprentice and learning about that person, I'm down. That's fine.
It's going to be a wonderful time. Unfortunately, there are 10 billion video games all coming out every single day I want to play, so I'm goofed. I've never been more happy. Wario64 just posted Mina the Hollower is delayed, and I typed in, thank God, because I don't have time to play Mina the Hollower, and then I scrolled down to the comments, and somebody wrote, honestly, thank God. There's so many games I need to play right now. I thought that was pretty funny. Very good. All right, Geese Peep. Does that conclude your Geese of the Week, what you've been peeping?
Yeah.
This week on my Geese of the Week, what I've been peeping, I watched the 1985 classic film D.A.R.Y.L. because a few weeks ago I saw a clip on social media from this movie. It's starring Michael McCain. What is it? The guy who's in Breaking Bad and lots of other things. Plays, or not Breaking Bad, but Better Call Saul. He's
Giancarlo Esposito.
No. He's Jimmy's brother. Okay, this movie was good. It was fine. It's a 1985 film. Never heard of it. It's here, guys. Here's what happened. I see the little clip. I thought, what's that? So I look it up, see if it's streaming anywhere. It's on Amazon to rent. And I have Amazon free credits because on Amazon you can often order something and it says, oh, if you just wait a day, we'll give you free credits.
Do 1 day later and we'll give you $1.50. Easy.
Exactly. So I have these free credits to spend on a rental. So I rent the movie, and then it says, okay, you have 30 days to watch it. And I go, okay. And there was a point I was talking to Geese Peep about it, and we were going to watch it together. But then I refreshed, and it said, you have 17 hours to start this movie. And I went, oh, God. So I had to watch it that night, and it was whatever. It's so funny watching these 1985 movies because it's not great. And it's when it showed the writers of the movie and it showed 3 people, I thought, uh-oh, you got that many people on this bad boy? It's just so funny when you see scenes that you're thinking, why would they spend this much money? There's so many scenes of helicopters and fire trucks and car crashes and chases and giant fighter jets. And I'm just thinking, wow, why would we spend so many millions of dollars on this movie?
I had a similar experience, actually.
But it's just about you were in a bunch of fighter jets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so it's a little aged movie. And do I recommend it? It's about a robot boy. He's real good at stuff. And God, don't you love when you're watching a movie and you're watching a good actor in a scene with a bad actor?
Oh, that's so good. In like, I don't want to say early cinema, but it was when there was a mix. It's like the 70s, not so much, but like the 80s and 90s had so many movies like that because you finally were getting the first generation of just film actors, and them acting alongside theater actors is so good. So funny.
I was enjoying the movie. It was hard for me the suspension of disbelief was hard for whatever reason, the way it was shot. And it's just a film print they digitized. So you see like the lines on the film print, which is interesting. But it was tough for my suspension of disbelief. The whole time I was just picturing what the camera was doing and where it was. But anyway, I had to pause the movie at one point and say, that was such a bad line reading. I can't believe they didn't take another take. There's just this one scene in the beginning where the mother is speaking for about 4 sentences, but her cadence never changes. You got to be interesting when you perform. You can't just talk like this and then you say like this, but then you talk like this and then you're on the next sentence and then you're on the next sentence.
You know who's really good at that? I was watching this scene from the movie Layer Cake, which I haven't seen in like 10 years, with Daniel Craig. And Daniel Craig explaining the cost breakdown of doing business reselling pills is so easy to listen to. He's so good at line delivery.
But guys, let's move on. We're guys, please. We're just lollygagging on this podcast. People probably turn it off. You kidding? Okay, I've been playing Ghost of Yōtei. Once again, I wish it didn't come out right now because Legend ZA is out next week. I don't have time to beat it, and I'm furious. I'm actually really upset about it because I don't know what I'm going to do. Am I literally going to wait to play Pokemon? Because Pokemon ZA is going to take up so much of my time with the main story, post-game, shiny hunting, and everything. I don't know what I'm going to do. But anyway, Ghost of Yōtei, it first started, I'm going, I don't know. But now I'm playing more, and I'm thinking, This is wonderful. I love the gameplay loop of the Ghost games, and it's so beautiful and atmospheric. And I immediately put all my skill points straight into stealth because that's how I like playing these games, just in the grass and going.
I had such a problem with Ghost of Tsushima because it was gorgeous, and the problem was the plot was really interesting, but the fact that it has side quests made me less interested. And that's becoming a trend for me because the same thing happened to me with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, where I was just like, I've been an RPG completionist type person for a long time, and I can't help but be compelled to play games like that. But I lose so much interest.
No, I like the side quests. I love seeing all the animals, helping out the wolves, looking at the foxes, praying to the shrines. It's a great fun. It's beautiful. I recommend. Taylor, real quick. I mean, you don't have to be super, super quick, but reasonably quick because you're on a timeline. Can you please tell us about Ivalice the Chronicles? It's right. That's right. Final Fantasy Tactics is here again with trophies. Please take it.
All right. Final Fantasy Tactics Ivalice Chronicles came out. I got my copy. I think it was an hour after our last recording ended. And let me tell you, I put that disc in my PlayStation so fast. And then you two said you could play Diablo, and I postponed that to enjoy the experience. You're welcome.
Wow.
Same thing happened to me. I was trying to play Ghost of Yōtei, but Geese Peep wants to play Diablo, and what Geese Peep wants, Geese Peep gets.
You have been trying to get me to play Diablo for so long, and then I'm sorry, I get Diablo, and now you're like, oh no, I'm doing whatever.
I made my choice. I played Diablo.
It's not, we both made our choice.
I would do it again.
It's not our fault that Steam decided that that's when they're going to put it on sale when Ivalice Chronicles and Ghost of Yōtei comes out. That's probably why they did it, because they're thinking people aren't going to buy it on sale because they're too busy playing Ivalice Chronicles and Ghost of Yōtei.
Ivalice Chronicles is such a good rendition of this game. The UI changes are incredible. The full voice acting is incredible.
Do you like the voice acting?
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Some people are they're not crazy about Aerith having a British accent.
I have not gotten that far yet.
Spoilers.
But honestly, it fits. Whatever. Who cares? So my big issue is that, like every fantasy thing that's come out in the past 10 years, you have every other character saying, bend the knee, a man groan.
No,
would that it were only this.
No, they're really using Game of Thrones dialogue?
Everybody does that. They did it in Final Fantasy 16, too.
No.
And then I'm playing this hot on the heels of playing through Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age, and I'm listening to that dialogue, and I'm like, what good fantasy dialogue?
Oh, my God.
Why?
Okay,
Why?
For anybody unfamiliar, they didn't actually say bend the knee and man groan and would it were in fantasy goofball times. It's just George Railroad Martin wrote some books in the 90s and wrote those lines a couple times. And now every single person since the HBO series came out, when they write a medieval fantasy setting, they're always adding bend the knee. That's not a phrase. It wasn't a phrase.
It's so weird that that's the takeaway from it, too. That's the wild thing. It's like, oh, people liked Game of Thrones. You know what? I'll bet what carried that show was people saying bend the knee. Yeah. Let's put that in our script.
Would it were a man groan, yes.
And it just takes me out of it every single time. Yeah. And it's just such tea time dialogue. And it's really frustrating to read. The big issue with that is that the voice acting is very good. The gameplay is very fun. The world is incredibly cool. And the story is so good. It is I think, it's my favorite Final Fantasy story.
Whoa!
It's incredible. It's incredible. Everybody should go play it. It's such a good game.
Gun to my head, you could not ask me to describe the plot of any Final Fantasy game.
It's very easy. A group of people, Crystal, kill God. There you go. Final Fantasy.
Unfortunately I've tried several times to play Final Fantasy Tactics. I bought it on PS1. I've got it on PSP.
Were you into the Renaissance and conflicts within that time period? Because this deals a lot with a bunch of different aspects of that. There are, there's a bunch of
what kind of Renaissance? The Italian, the Northern European Renaissance?
I would never say the Northern European Renaissance, Geese. But it's like a lot of privatized military. It's a lot of backstabbing. It's a lot of vying for political control in a power vacuum. It's very good stuff, and it's talking about upper class or like nobles versus peasants and societal mentality. It has a lot of good qualities, and it was written in the 90s too.
Yeah. She
Sounds
loves.
interesting.
Oh, if you're also playing that, just go with tactician mode. Bear through it, like just kind of grin and bear it through the first act. Act 1 is rough on tactician mode. Act 2 onward is fine. I also watched, because Eric had never seen it, so Eric and Brett came over a few days ago,
Brett's
and we watched the 1986 remake of The Blob. This is a fantastic movie, and it came out in such a way where it's a remake of a movie, it's a monster movie, and they subvert almost every trope in that genre. It's very well done. There was a very funny moment where I'm talking to Brett, and I'm saying, you know, I completely forgot that in this movie about a blob, there is a government like cover-up plot and a helicopter chase. I don't know how they managed to cram it into this script, but they did it.
Yeah, so you were right on the money. We both just watched a mid-'80s film with a bonus helicopter chase.
Exactly. Where
Yeah,
I'm just
great.
sitting there and I'm like, Kevin Dillon, who I got to meet in person.
Guys, they just had money to burn in the 80s.
I guess they did.
Yeah.
The
Japan,
effects were
you
so
should have seen
good.
it. They had
Oh,
so
the
much
effects
money.
are so good. Everybody should go watch The Blob. If you like monster movies, this is a very unexpected one. It's very fun. Fire extinguishers aren't cold, just in case you use any knowledge from the film in your real life.
Yeah, that happens. It is now.
I'm so sorry. Before we move on, I need to ask a quick question.
Yes.
Michael,
Oh.
can you describe what it's like to play the McDonald's Monopoly game?
Giant news, breaking news in Geese the Week, what you've been peeping. I ate McDonald's this morning because that's right, McDonald's Monopoly is back. And
it used to be so much fun.
yeah, what stinks now is they still have the same game piece sizes, but you used to get 2 game pieces per thing, per hash brown and drink and large fries and everything. But now when you peel it, it's just one long piece. So they're
inflation.
They're having the amount you get. So let me get the piece of paper. Hold on.
The Geese, I used to play the McDonald's Monopoly game all the time. It's one of those weird things where I think they succeeded wildly in what they were doing because I never won a thing and I still think of it fondly.
That was back in a time where
you couldn't read. I understand. You're young.
No, we really didn't eat dongles that much. Like,
what were you eating? Publix?
Got him.
No, it was more of like we ate dongles like every now and then, but it wasn't until like college that I started eating McDonald's much more. So I never really played the Monopoly game.
I used to have, when I was a child, my grandfather would walk multiple miles with me to get a sausage and egg McMuffin. And I loved that so much.
Aww.
It was a lot of miles. He was 70 years old at the time, and I would have been like 4 or 5, just walking miles, and I was exhausted and complaining, and he was just 70-year-old just hiking.
Well, great news for Taylor. That sausage and McMuffin would have a game piece. So this year, I say this year, they haven't had it in a long time. Clearly, they had it at least once in the last 10 years because I have all the game pieces from the last time they did this. They're in this cup here. So this year, the big triumphant return, you get normal game pieces from ordering hash browns, McMuffins, medium hot coffees, large hot McCafes, large iced coffees, large iced teas, large soft drinks, large fries, filet of fish, 10-piece McNuggets, 20-piece McNuggets, and Big Mac. Those all have physical pieces you peel off. You collect all the pieces on the Monopoly board, win $1 million, win a jet ski, win 1 million American Airlines miles. Also, each one you put in the code in the app and you get a bonus play where you get to gamble on a wheel spin and you win free stuff like food from there. Like I did, I won a free apple pie and or a small fry.
Ooh, as a Pokemon Go player, I love gambling.
Yes. And also, these items will not have a game piece on them, but if you order them through the app or scan your code card on the kiosk, you also get a free game piece play with the purchase of McCrispy strips, biscuit sandwiches. Geese Peep, you love your little egg biscuit. McCrispy sandwiches.
Wait. What are McCrispy strips? Are those just like
The
the
chicken, they're new chicken tenders. They're chicken.
Oh, right.
McGriddles, medium fries, large cold McCafe, and quarter pounder with cheese. I'm going to level with you guys. I'm going to be eating a lot of dongles. I already ate breakfast this morning. I'm going back, and basically I'm only going to eat game piece items. So I'm just going to be eating nuggets and fries and iced coffee. So I'm going to be drowning in pieces, so that way I win $1 million.
Here's the unfortunate thing. I'm trying to eat healthier.
Oh.
And I'm about to be in LA, and
you can eat one biscuit.
Geese, this is okay.
Black coffee is not. Look, black coffee.
I'm gonna be an advocate for.
Look, black coffee is not unhealthy.
Yep, just eat the black coffee, and there's your day.
Black coffee and one biscuit.
I had to plead. I had to plead with Guncan yesterday, saying, "Okay, I understand that you just got a baguette. Please do not offer me any. Do not let me have any. I have 0 willpower, and I'm trying to diet."
Was it un baguette or du baguette?
It was un baguette. So it's just very difficult when you're around somebody constantly and they constantly want to eat unhealthy stuff. And you're like, our bodies don't work the same. For instance, I have an incredibly slow metabolism. I have to be very, very strict with myself and exercise constantly. And I can have a fun blowout meal every once in a while. But more often than not, I'm eating egg whites. So I get it, Geese. And I will help you.
That's why I walk minimum 2 hours a day and climb stairs nonstop. So that way I'm allowed to eat dongles and not be morbidly obese. And my BMI is fine. Taylor, do you have more to say before we move on to Poké-news?
I can't think of anything that I would say before we move on to Poké-news.
The first piece of Poké-news of the week, we actually already covered. It's just the GameStop news. They got more codes. We already got all the codes. We're fighting back and forth. Everybody's yelling. Everybody's throwing the blame. Poor Joe Sarabi, because all our news typically comes from Joe Sarabi. He's just such a mountain of abuse from people just calling him a shill for defending Pokemon.
I know. Somebody needs to make him at least listen to part of this episode, because he is a pillar of the community, and nobody saying anything negative about him is looking at all he does for us.
Yeah, he does a lot. He's what would I do without Sarabi? I mean, I'm always looking up Sarabi every day. And the next piece of Pokemon news from Sarabi.net. The Pokemon, this is just such a funny picture. I don't know if you can see it. The Pokemon Go Pass Halloween has been fully announced. Offers all players a chance to catch Rotom. And it's just a picture of a very unassuming man holding the Sinistea teapot and a Rotom. And it's a funny picture.
That is very funny. I love his little... These aren't jorts, but they're jort... Almost
adjacent.
Yeah, Jort.
They're capris.
Wear your Jort adjacent capris and catch yourself a Rotom. Also from Sarabi,
more like Michael Jordan.
Got him. The Pokemon.
Nice.
The kids don't know what Michael Jordan is anymore.
More like a LeBron Jort.
Yep. Next piece of Pokemon news. The Pokemon TCG Pocket Raichu EX Drop event has begun. Adding new promo cards into the game. Runs until October 16th, 2025. Have fun with that. And then the final piece of Poké news this week, they finally fixed the 7-star Terra Raid event. So, like we said last week, people were having a hoot of a time with Pokemon last week. Nobody was getting codes. And the raids, the 7-star raids in Scarlet and Violet were broken. You were supposed to be able to go online and join either raid and catch both Roaring Moon and Iron Valiant 7-star Mightiest Marks. But instead, there was an error in the coding of them, and they both came up under the same index ID or whatever. So if you were playing Violet, there was no way to go to Scarlet online, and the same vice versa. And if you caught one of them, you couldn't catch the other. So they fixed it by just creating a new event entirely, which is actually neat for somebody like me who's already caught them by just doing it separately on 2 different games. So now I can catch 6 of them because it lets you re-catch now because it's just considered a brand new event, which is fun. It is now time to discuss an episode of Pokemon. Taylor, please tell us what happened last time on Pokes.
Previously on Pokemon, there was a battle the entire episode.
You sure that's not Poke Synopsis of the Week? You sure? Geese Peeps wants to send a synopsis to him?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Geese Peep, can you please tell us the name of this week's episode in English? That's right, episode 111. The finale of Mega Voltage? Are you kidding me?
Oh my god, I forgot this is the series finale.
The season finale. The season finale.
Don't they call them series?
In England. Nobody's English here, though.
Yeah, but how many episodes was this? I mean, Mega Voltage isn't like 24 episodes.
Scroll up on the dock.
I would say they're different series.
What are you talking about, Taylor? There's seasons.
Rayquaza Rising is different than Mega Voltage.
This is all Pokemon Horizons. So this season was called Mega Voltage. There was Rayquaza Rising. There's Liko and Roy Set Off. There was Terapagos' Gleam. That was the season.
So they just name their seasons differently.
Yeah.
All right. That's fine.
Strive for greater heights with unwavering strength.
What a unique title for the finale.
Or in Japanese, 強く高みを目指して. Geese Peep, can you please give us a one-sentence synopsis?
The experiment concludes, and a new journey begins.
Via battle.
We open with another recap, and looks like Pogogo-chan is donezo. Knocked out. He can't save the world any farther, any longer, any harder. How could we possibly win without Pogogo-chan? Is the question.
I'm going to spoil a little bit my score of the week. Not the score, but my sentiment of the week. I have never paid less attention to an episode other than these last two. These were so boring to me.
Nah, this one was way better than last week.
I mean, yeah, but that's like, ugh.
The kids all do a very sick pose with all their Pokemon, and it looks like we may try to win by saving the 6 heroes of light. And it's time for a theme song. We're back from the theme song. Immediate battle. Geese Peep and Taylor must be losing it on the edge of their seats. So excited to get to fight some more. Just battle, fight, attack, moving, dodging, fight it.
The problem is it's not even battles that disinterest me. It's repetitive battles, and every single battle is the exact same thing.
Nah.
Oh boy, we gotta exhaust all our. How are we gonna do this? Oh, hey, somebody better Mega Evolve or Terastalize or whoa. And they're fighting the 6 heroes of light. And it's like, okay, well, we did that before. Oh, but they're under the effect of Laqua. We've done that before, too. Like, didn't they have anything else they could have used here?
Well, our belief is going wild versus Lucario, and we got Galarian Moltres chasing down Kilowattrel. Poor Crocalor just getting pounced on by Gouging Fire.
I'm kind of surprised Crocalor didn't evolve by now, too.
Yeah.
I thought for sure that would happen this season.
Man, I don't know. Maybe next season. We'll see. It's just kind of weird because Skeledirge is so big. It's just like, anyway.
The design is much less goofy and adorable than Fuecoco and Crocalor, too.
Saw a great meme. Somebody was complaining about Florida. There was a big alligator in a bridge, and then it said, God, I'm so sick of Paldea, and there was a big giant Skeledirge on the bridge. Okay. Wars fighting Meowscarada. I gotta say that those two are actually, no, that's later. Scratch that. Cut that out.
Scratch that, reverse it.
Yep. Lapras is still just going after the little guys. I honestly have such little respect for Lapras of the 6 heroes because he's always just fighting the smallest little guy.
That's not Lapras's fault, though. I feel like
Lapras is always just fighting the smallest little guy, Charcadet. Just leave him alone.
It's smart, if anything. If Lapras is thinking like a Final Fantasy Tactics Evilise Chronicles Tactician mode enjoyer.
What?
Because a character with HP of 1 still does full damage.
Well, there you go. Roy offers the wonderful advice in this scene: dodge.
Shouts out.
Ult, why are you standing in the way of danger? Once again, about to die by gouging fire. Don't look gouging fire in the eye, is what my advice, because that man is always trying to kill Ult. Every chance he gets.
Do you think a Pokemon under the influence of Loquium or Super Loquium or whatever they're calling it,
Yeah, Mega.
is
Super,
capable of hurting a human?
Oh, I'm sure. Well, it depends on what canon you're following. But luckily, thank goodness, Captain Pikachu and Sableye save Ult, and then the 6 heroes just knockout, KO, just pretty much everybody. The only people standing now are Mega Dragonite, Shiny Lucario, and normal Charcadet.
Oh no!
But wait, what Geese Peep do we see from the skies on the back of a Corviknight? The Deus Ex
Amethyel.
There we go. That's right. He says 1,000 arrows, Shiny Zygarde. We're going to save the day.
It was sick.
Also, wearing a beautiful bespoke suit.
Wonderful suit. Great suit. Next scene I found funny. Once again, Ult, no idea who this man is. And says,
wait, that was very funny.
Who are you?
Also funny
says, who are you?
Amethyel comes in, saves everybody, immediately is drawn away from the fight.
Yeah, that's also
the one thing that would have made this like a little bit interesting is watching Zygarde fight with Amethyel.
Zygarde's super sick. He reconstitutes himself back into his 10% dog form. Spinal, of course. Spinal. Geese Peep. Thank you. Spinal, of course, is watching from his Behemoth cam. And,
Yep.
Sidian and Coral are going to Lockwood Sphere their Pokemon.
Yeah, take care of something.
And now we get what Taylor's talking about. This is so silly, the way they animated this. Sidian and Coral, Lockwood Sphere their Pokemon. Glalie, by the way, shouts out my favorite character this episode because that boy's always got the goofiest look on his face. His eyes are always doing something ridiculous.
Very funny. It seems like a Yu-Gi-Oh monster more than a Pokemon.
He's just
very like silly and sinister.
He's just drunk on the Lockwood. But so then they decide, okay, Amethio and Sidian and Coral are just going to fight on the beach nearby, which is what Geese Peep would be doing. She'd just see, oh, look, there's a beach. Let me go over there.
I'm so confused. Why did Amethio tell Zygarde, one of the strongest Pokemon, to go fight these side characters when they're fighting the 6 heroes? They're all roided up.
Because it's only 10% for him. He's not at his full strength.
And they didn't have enough animation. They can't animate Zygarde fighting. They have to show Crocolore doing
they got to show Crocolore doing something. But look, Amethio's not out of this. He says, Zygarde, take care of them. I'm going to pull out my boy Ceruledge. And when I say my boy Ceruledge, I'm of course referring to myself, Michael, in the first person, my boy Ceruledge. And Liko comes up with a great idea. Love this scene. Taylor, you got to give yourself, you got to add a couple points how sick it is that Liko says Charcadet's ability, Flash Fire, is going to activate. He's going to be immune to fire attacks. He's going to be boosted in strength if he's just hit by a fire attack. Can you please use your Ceruledge's Bitter Blade to just tap him on the head and power him up? And it's so sick.
It is the only sick part of this episode.
Wait,
first
then
of all,
why doesn't Crocolore do that?
He could.
Because he's busy being animated doing something else. Stomping Tantrum, probably. It was also really sick because Ceruledge, it looked like he was knighting him.
Oh, it looks so good.
And that was cool. I thought for sure this would have been the Armarouge evolution scene. And Amethio would have said,
me too.
Hey, well, my family has another relic.
Okay.
I gave this Ceruledge the spooky armor. You get the Mega Man armor.
I think it's I can't remember the names. It's Malicious and like Malignant or something. But
sure.
I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking the same thing, but then I immediately thought, well, he's not carrying around a bunch of armor, so he's not gonna evolve right now. Anyway,
yeah, but they all like. Did you see that super potion that Ult had in his pocket?
This is what's going to happen. They're going to go back to Grandma Diana's spooky castle, and Liko's going to discover the armor, and it's going to have something with her ancestors, and then it's going to evolve.
That would have salvaged this episode. Anyway. If Amethio had said, hey, I talked to Diana, by the way, and she gave me this armor, here you go. Or something. Guys,
you're procrastinating. We got to get back to the battle. You know we're here for the battle. That's what the listeners are here to listen to the battle.
You're
Lucario, Mega Evolve!
Whoa! Better animate this for 30 seconds.
Yeah, they're going to animate that for 30 seconds, followed immediately by a Dragon Ball / One Piece zoom in on every single Pokemon's face to fill up the 24 minutes. Great stuff. Good stuff.
The issue that there's so many issues I have with this battle, but there are enough moving parts that it should feel very sick. There are so many things that could be incredibly cool. And actually, Ceruledge has a really fun little choreography with, I think it's Gouging Fire.
No. It was with Cleavor, and it was very sick. And I was going to bring that up earlier, but it's not so late. The sword fight they have is great. But anyway, let's continue. Fire Spin, Ceruledge. Get Arboliva. Bitter Blade that Cleavor, Ceruledge. Very, very sick fight. But you're right. We should have got 5 minutes of them sword fighting. Would have been very good. And then Liko says, Charcadet, please remember that time you jumped on Arcanine's face. That is what you must do to Gouging Fire.
This is the same thing, Charcadet. Surely this will end the same way.
Yeah, and use Amber, too. And honestly, turn on the Scarlet Violet music, the remix. Yeah, that one. Oh, you fool, Gouging Fire. Your fire will do no damage to Charcadet. You're just powering him up.
In fact, it will do the opposite.
Ult then gives great direction to Dragonite.
Get him.
Get him.
Roy notices that Ult is giving very bad advice to Dragonite. So Roy comes up with a great Looney Tunes plan. Looney Tunes coming up twice this podcast. And he's going to say, well, I know what we're going to do. We're going to, Dragonite's going to make Galarian Moltres fly towards Lucario. Lucario's going to jump out of the way. Galarian Moltres is going to hit Lapras. We did it.
Which is weird because I was a little confused by this, and I meant to bring it up last episode. They're using all this Loquium to make them go rabid. Last time they were under the influence of Loquium, they fought each other. I'm surprised they're coordinating this well.
Yeah, maybe that's the difference between Mega Loquium, super strong fear, double. Yeah, extra cheese, extra
vape version.
Yeah, extra whole grilled onion. Well, it worked. Flash Cannon, Hyper Beam. Oh my God, they didn't even have a chance to attack because Arboliva hit him. Golly, we got a lot. We got
oil.
Guys, we got a lot of fighting going on. Gouging Fire just steps on Charcadet. Felt bad for that.
What a scene for Charcadet. Poor Charcadet. Liko gave that poor Charcadet so much confidence.
Yeah,
and it's not even the size of a paw.
It's a baby.
What are you doing, buddy?
Meanwhile, Corviknight's completely frozen. Zygarde's just still playing on the beach. Then Glalie just explodes, self-destructs, and everybody's knocked out.
Yep.
Well, everybody's knocked out again. Cool.
And
now, guys, may I present the most angry I have ever seen social media about Pokemon. Liko yells at the 6 heroes, stop. We get a commercial break. We're back from the commercial break. So many people hated this so much when this episode came out. And they all said that Liko pulls out her talk no jutsu and she just says, guys, please stop.
I thought it was just like a coincidence. Oh, it just also happened to be when it wore off.
I wish it, instead of just pleading and breaking through the super Loquium or whatever, there were some stakes at any point in the episode. Like maybe one of them accidentally hurts her and they all stop and snap out of it, or something more than just her Sakura screaming.
Well, everybody, apparently, is that a Naruto thing? A Naruto? Yeah. That Naruto can convince any villain that actually just change your ways?
It's kind of a thing.
So, yeah, that's what happens. Liko says stop, all their crystals break, and then we get 10 minutes of just gurgling. Just all of the 6 heroes going...
It's the weirdest thing. It's so stupid. It made me think of the ending of the anime, which needs a Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood treatment, Soul Eater. It is a terrific anime, both the sub and the dub. Shouts out to Todd Habercorn, I think.
Taylor's Anime Minute.
They had such a good show, such an interesting world, such cool animation, it was fun, it was funny, it was like well paced, and then they get to the end where the anime starts outpacing the manga, and they were just like, how do you think this should end? And everybody was like, power of friendship is fine. That's kind of what this felt like to me, where it leaves a bad taste in your mouth because the authors clearly don't care about the world they've created because they have just decided that it's time for things to stop.
Yeah, Liko says stop, and the 6 heroes say, well, when you put it that way. And then they all knock themselves out. And we did it.
Just wild. And you don't even get, like, the bad thing is you don't even get a payoff from Spinal.
No.
And it's like there's no dimension at all to him except like this smug sense of self-assuredness. And it's like, why are you just going to be sitting in this room full of green liquid smiling to yourself saying, oh, this is all fine, no matter what happens?
Yeah, all the spheres turn off. Spinal doesn't seem concerned. It was all part of the experiment. The drones pick up the 6 heroes, put them on the trucks. And I'm telling you guys, when they showed the trucks, you wouldn't believe how hard I was staring at those tinted windows trying to see the drivers.
We got confirmation that the truck drivers, they stayed in the truck.
Yep.
That is dedication. Those are drivers that are willing to watch all of this destruction and just be like, I'm not moving.
Again, they
I'm
could
staying
be
in my truck.
They could be Waymos. I mean, the drones with magical energy are definitely automated, so who knows? Yeah. They drive off, Sidian and Coral follow him, and now, out of nowhere, who shows up way too late with a Tinkaton? Oh, wow. This cracked me up, Taylor. You got to add some more points than what you planned on, because there's a lot of good moments in this episode. Tinkaton's giant smile in the face of all this destruction.
Yeah, it was pretty adorable.
She's just so happy.
I'm so distracted by worrying about how she's holding her hammer, though, ever since her introduction and using it backwards.
Isn't this, though, the first time they see the evolved?
Yes.
This is the first time everybody else sees it.
Roy says, oh my God, she evolved.
Probably that's why the big smile, because she's so
all proud,
of herself.
Yeah,
she hasn't seen him in a while.
Oh, look, Butler Hamburgers is here, too. And the man we kept calling Crave earlier, that's his Japanese name. His English name is Cervantes. So, just so we're clear, Amethio's father, name is Cervantes.
Yep. Everybody named after different bakery items and Cervantes.
Yep. And then they all have a big, giant conversation. I'm not too sure what was said, because at this point in the episode, I had to keep texting Taylor about recording earlier and also dealing with a bunch of maintenance people constantly knocking on doors and asking me questions. So if you do want to tell me what they have a conversation about, you can.
Yeah, I paid the most attention to this because I'm here for the family drama.
Yes.
So Amethio was like...
You were just going to say, I'm too nervous.
Amethio is like, guys, I'm so sorry that Zygarde wasn't up to his full strength. And Dot's like, no worries. Thank you for saving us.
You mean Liko?
No,
Dot.
Dot says
Dot.
Oh, Dot does say that. That's right. I did think it was really weird, because it's like, well, what? Wouldn't any of the people that were there think Amethio? Not the person that showed up after the fact?
Anyway, when Dot says this and thanks Amethio is taken aback. He's like, oh! And then he looks at his dad, and then his dad quickly looks away and then walks up to Liko and Roy and is like, I'm so sorry about the explorers and this causing this great inconvenience.
Which is really funny, because the first time we meet him, wasn't he pretty sinister?
No, he was always just a nice man. With
was
his...
he?
Yeah, because he had his little Minchino or his Chinchino, whoever was.
I could be just implanting that.
He's a great guy.
Liko and Roy are like, I'm Liko and Roy, and we've been researching, and Dot hands him the pen drive with all of the research, and Cervantes he says, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about the research. Spinal can just deny it with his own research. There's nothing I can do. And then Amethio gets really mad. Is like, Dad! Why are you giving up? I didn't give up. I learned from a man with cool glasses and a Sharkpedo that I should never give up, and I'm going to follow my own path. And then he inspires his dad. His dad's like, I was former director, so I do have a responsibility. I'll figure it out.
No more running away. Also, at some point during this, Roy and Liko give the big news to Cervantes. Cervantes, you're never going to believe it, but Laqua is actually dangerous.
Which is wild. That's crazy.
He says, I figured.
Yeah.
But yeah, Amethio says, Dad, I don't know about you. Apparently, I'm the man of the house, but if you want to just throw your life away, whatever. I know me. I'm going to go collect all of Grandpa's Zygarde cells. I'm going to get 100% Zygarde. I'm going to save the world. So,
ooh, it's going to be quite an episode. I hope, oh boy, next season, I have such high hopes for that. I hope they really lean into the potential humor there and just show him following routes looking at his phone.
no, that'd be good. So, that's a Pokemon Go reference for those who don't play Pokemon Go. That's how you get Zygarde cells in that game. So, Cervantes says, you know what, Emethio, you're right, my boy. I goofed the big one. I will also join the fight because it is my responsibility as former director. And we have a very heartwarming, professional, manly handshake between father and son.
Mm-hmm.
And
Come
now,
on, guys, hug.
Not their family,
it's
Geese.
Come on now. And then I believe it's Emethio. He says, Rising Bolt Tacklers, we are on the same side. See you later. Oh, we're going to leave now. Butler Hamburgers, me, the
Rising
guys.
Volt Tacklers, disassemble.
Yes. Goodbye. Okay. So that scene is over. We now cut to the kids by the beach, and once again, as Ult is wont to do, he says, that's it, I'm running away. I'm not strong enough. I'm not like you guys. I gotta go on a big giant mission to get stronger.
Which is interesting. It kind of fell flat for me, even though I understand its inclusion. Like, they're showing that Ult is realizing, like, he's taking some time to reflect, which is good. That shows good character growth. He doesn't just think he's the best person in the world. He's capable of being self-critical, and he's capable of thinking of others instead of himself.
Yeah, he realized how much trouble he got everybody in because he was just so scared of the 6 heroes that everybody had to worry about his well-being, and he couldn't even give commands to Dragonite. It was a whole thing. But Sableye tries to calm him down, and I write, oh my god, he's actually leaving. He's not going to be in the next season. Thank goodness. Crocolore jumps out of his Pokeball.
As
Dark
does.
Cadet
Yeah.
jumps out of his Pokeball. And this is via Liko's translation. These are what the Pokemon say in Pokemon language. They say, yes, Ult. We also need to strengthen ourselves on a strength-building mission so we can rising again, so to speak.
I wish that they had used Hatterim to
it'd be sick.
translate the positivity to Ult.
Yep. On this, the finale of Mega Voltage. And then Liko says, yeah, we all got to train together. I don't know what you're talking about, Ult. We'll do it together. It'll be great.
Yeah, we're a team.
I don't know where.
We like you now.
Yeah.
We want you here.
Exactly. I don't know where we're going to train, but we'll figure it out probably. I mean, come on. Also, this is another time where I was just trying to take notes but getting text nonstop. I think there's a pun in Japanese I missed, and it's something about concrete. So we'll see what the localization does with it. I don't know.
Whenever you say concrete, I can't stop thinking about Tom Hardy saying concrete and granite.
Okay, well, now we're going to be interrupted by a phone call from Briar. Guess what, Geese Peep? Guess what's getting published? And
I don't know why they just threw that into this episode. It felt so weird.
No, it makes perfect sense, Taylor, because they reached out to her forever ago for very important stuff, and she said, sorry, kids, I can't talk. I'm writing my book. But now the book's ready. It's done. It's about to be published. And the front cover, the iconography of it is very cool. It's all the DLC stuff when they were selling the DLC for the Blueberry Academy and Terapagos and everything. It's very sick. Captain Pikachu's face, by the way, hysterical in this scene. I don't know if you guys saw it because it was kind of covered by the subtitles, but he just did his normal kind of frowning face up at Briar. It was good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, Briar, yeah, that's great. Here's the thing. We got to discuss Pagogo-chan. Briar loses it. She says, I love Pagogo-chan. You can always talk to me about Terapagos. Please interrupt me anytime.
Of course.
And she says, as a matter of fact, why don't you come to me right now? I'm over at Blueberry Academy in the Seas of Unova. Come on, hurry.
We're
now.
very strong and a place to train.
And she hangs up the phone. And then we get a cool little throwback, actually, to Anne, the old roommate of Liko. If you'll recall, in a previous episode, Anne was going to be a foreign exchange student at Blueberry Academy. And I said, when that happened, I remember during the discussion, I said, ooh, that'll be sick. I bet they're going to come back to that later. And here we are.
Wow.
Yep, it all paid off.
Wow, guys. We're going to get so strong at Blueberry Academy. Do you know how much they teach about battling over there in the sister school of Naranja Academy?
Almost as much as Naranja.
Wait.
That's the big problem, is normally this would be such a hype thing. It would be like, oh, it's time for a training arc. They're going to have so many battles. Maybe there will be a tournament arc. But every fight in the series is the exact same thing. Nobody scales. Nobody has a huge power-up. It's always just the exact same repetitive battle nonsense. So I don't even care.
What do you mean it's not hype? Didn't you see all of them having their fists up in the air?
Yep.
They're so
sure
hype.
did.
Every one of them had their fists up by their face.
I'm talking about the viewers being hype, and I'm not. I feel a sense of looming dread about next season.
Nah, it'll be great. All right, let's go back to the ship. Ult, you can't walk there. You can't walk to Blueberry Academy. We got to fly on the ship. And Ult says, you know what? I believe you're correct. We now cut to the imprisoned 6 heroes of light. And Spinal and Umbreon are sitting in their neon green throne room, and they're preparing for the next stage. And like Taylor said, he's always got that dumb smirk on his face. You can't animate any other face than dumb smirk, please?
Well, it's like supposed to be that he's always one step ahead of everyone. Everything is to his plan.
But it's like, oh gosh, it's just like looking at the same thing all the time.
I agree. To be continued. Geese Pete, before we discuss this episode, can you please tell us the heartbreaking mega this week with Mega Dragon?
No, not heartbreaking. It's fine.
Why is it heartbreaking?
No, it's fine.
He murdered a Tentacruel.
Well, so the Mega Evolution is Dragonite, which appropriate for the last of the season, but kind of not. Could have happened when they actually showed the Mega Evolution. Whatever.
I hate that they did that so much, because I was looking at it and I was like, you guys are just not. You don't even care about this show. The people who are making it. Because they were like, ooh, what's Dragonite's Mega Evolution? And it's like, well, that was. We've been watching it.
Taylor, it's because this episode is airing right before Pokemon ZA comes out, and ZA is where he's introduced. So please continue, Geese.
So it's Mega Evolution. We've talked about the appearance before. It has wings as horns. It's a very Sailor Moon coded, I would say. And apparently, when it Mega Evolves, it dramatically powered up its kindness, which is contradictory to what we see in the next animation, which is Dragonite absolutely obliterating a Tentacruel.
Well, they justify
the top of the mountain.
They justify it by saying it doesn't draw out battles; it finishes them real quickly.
Yeah, out of kindness. And the Tentacruel's poor Tentacool children are just aghast. So sorry, Tentacruel. I'm sorry. Rip.
It's all fun and games. All fun and games. To be fair, Tentacruel did shoot first, I think.
Let's discuss this episode. I got to start first because Taylor's been pooping on this episode all week. This is a much better episode than last week. Was I? When it first started and it was just battles and I knew we were getting Talk No Jutsu, I thought, okay, maybe this isn't going to be a great finale. It is not a great finale, but there's enough laughs and fun and cool sword fights and Amethio. The fact that I need to make this real clear. Geese Peep was going over this part of the story, but I need to make it clear that it was really powerful, and Amethio's performance was very good when he called his dad out for just giving up and abandoning everything and not doing what he was supposed to. That was a very powerful moment. This episode's going to probably be in the 8s for me just because of that scene. And I laughed a number of times. I thought there were lots of funny moments and cool moments.
There was one moment during the battle where I thought it was Lapras, but it could have been somebody else. Looks at a Pokemon, gets scared, and like runs off. I can't even remember it.
Probably Charcadet. Also, Geese Peep was saying last week the animation was really bad, so they must have spent a lot of money on this episode. I do think a lot of the mid-air chasing between Galarian Moltres and Mega Dragonite was very sick. You guys aren't into the battles as much when it's not, unique, but it was, I think, very cool to watch if you like any sort of action stuff or just love Pokemon in general. So maybe I should give it an 8.0, actually. Like, let's not go crazy, but I thought there were plenty of redeeming features here. I'll say this, if it wasn't the finale, I would give it higher than an 8.
Really?
Yeah, there's plenty of
okay, all right. Okay, I understand what you're saying.
Look.
Listen.
It's not, Taylor, it's not great. The fact that they fight and then they get knocked out and then Liko says stop and then the battle is over, that's not good. That's why it's an 8.0 and not like an 8.5.
So what you're saying is it's not, okay, the quotes are, it's not great, for a finale, it's not good.
Right.
It has plenty of redeeming qualities.
Yes.
8.0.
Exactly.
Interesting. Okay.
That Mythio scene by itself was super sick. You got to remember, each little addition adds a little point. So you're making me laugh. The Char Cadet getting knighted with the sick Bitter Blade, that's sick. That gets
I was very fun.
Fractions
very
of points. Taylor, it's not like I'm giving it an 8.9. It's an 8.0. It's barely skirting. Okay? It's like, basically, this is what it is, Taylor. It's basically in the 7s, the score, but it got some extra credit just to get over, so that way the poor writers aren't beaten for getting less than a B.
So this is like, okay, this is the final project. It's weighted differently, but
yes.
You barely passed. Here's a B.
Exactly. Exactly. It says we're on a what is this called? A curve. You're grading on a curve.
Curve. Yeah.
We're grading on a curve. You boost,
it set its own curve.
You technically failed, but because nobody else did well, you got an 8.0.
Nobody else took the test. You pass.
Yeah, there you go.
Geese, let's hear from you.
Yeah, Geese Peep, how'd you like this episode?
Why was this story arc covered over 3 episodes?
There was a
waiting.
Battle. Remember?
I told you why, because the Legend of Zelda, the Legend of Pokemon ZA comes out next week, and they needed to
Breath of the Wild is out, Geese. Yeah. This episode had to be delayed.
It was just frustrating because I was kind of excited. I was like, oh, there's got to be a reason why it was stretched over 3 episodes. No, they really didn't have to do that. It could have been 2.
Could have been.
Oh, you're giving it a 2? That's interesting.
Well, Geese Peep, literally they skipped a week. If they didn't make this 3 episodes, they'd have to skip 2 weeks.
See, what
we're
just learning,
made it more interesting. I was really hoping that we would get Fritos back, and that would make it worth it for the 3 episode.
Or at least somebody had said that. At least somebody had said, "I have an idea. Why don't we look for Fritos while we're training?"
Now, Fritos.
Or if a Methio had said that.
You guys keep saying look for Fritos. Nobody's looking for Fritos. They're just waiting for him to call back.
No, I was hoping he would show up.
Yeah, I got you.
I was too. I was hoping that it would be more of a deliberate thing instead of like, hey, I'm done waiting for him. Or a Methio had talked about him at all.
Well, Geese Peep, do you have a score or more to say about the episode? Don't lie. It's better than last week. You guys can't lie and say it's worse than last week.
It was better than last week. Here's what I liked. I did really like Amethio and his dad's dialogue.
You just like Amethio's suit.
It's a 6 suit.
Well,
that gets a fraction of a point, Taylor.
Yeah.
And I did actually like all having a little crash out from his awareness that he froze because of he was scared, etc. Like I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Everything else did nothing for me. So I'll give this like a 7.5.
7.5.
Oh wow, that's kind of low.
Reasonable score.
Really season finale 7.5.
Taylor, what's your score?
Finale?
Yeah.
Since you hated it so much.
I mean,
episode
I do think, I'll be honest with you, I think 8 is a little high. I understand the 7.5. What was my score last week?
And it got fraction of a point, bonus extra credit.
What was my score last week?
Oh, we gave it rough ones.
Was it, what did I give it?
I'm scrolling as fast as I can, girls. God, can you give me 1 second? We take a lot of notes.
I probably gave it like a 4 or something.
You gave it a 4.2.
I hated last week.
That's a low score.
This is bad. Last week's episode was awful. It was so bad. Let's see here. So things I liked. I liked Charcadet taking an active participation. Don't know what Hatterim was doing during this fight.
She got knocked out last week.
Everybody got knocked out last week.
If only we carried max revives and max potions with us, huh?
Well, Alt was using one later. I like that Amethio came with Zygarde and saw his dad. I wish that had been a more drawn-out scene. And maybe they had, made a pact together or done something more than... It felt like the bare minimum for that because it was such an interesting moment that could have happened. And it's like, maybe it's because I've been in that dynamic with my own dad where it's like you feel like the child is the parent a little bit on some level. I was like, well, why wouldn't you flesh that out a little bit more? Because that's interesting.
Only got
I also wished I was fleshed out more.
Guys, we got to show pictures of the 6 heroes again. Look at all their faces. So,
we got to, right. The 6 heroes were in there. I am glad that they stopped when Liko told them to, because her trainer powers are so
that's
great.
polite.
She has such mastery of it. Oh, that's very true. It is.
They're good listeners. Good listeners.
Yeah, very good listeners. Not good lookers, but very good listeners. It had some more music. The Cerulege v Cleavor interaction was fun.
I was laughing during the gurgles.
I laughed a couple times. Hated Spinal being in this episode at all.
Yep.
Hated the fact that everybody just kind of stared there as the trucks drove off, and they were all fine afterwards and nice and relaxed. It seemed like it just ended very abruptly and kind of arbitrarily. Like there wasn't a point where everybody was like, ha, we've won, or oh no, we've lost. It was like, okay, I guess we're done fighting. Bye. I give it a 4.2. This is significantly better than last week. I'm going to give this a 4.4.
Taylor, first of all,
I give this 4.4. Better than last week.
That's too low.
Taylor does not grade on a curve.
No, I do not. If you fail my class, you fail my class, Pokemon. And you guys should have had more class and given us a good finale.
Taylor's wrong. This is not a 4.
This is how the season ends? This is it? This is the culmination of all the other battles? Come on. Don't just rinse and repeat. Don't just FedEx this through without thinking about it.
Worst score I've ever heard of. It's not a 4.4.
Oh God, I just really feel like they just don't care about the viewers being entertained at all. They're just going through the motions until ZA comes out.
No, we're laughing. Geese, take us to the wrap up. I can't take this anymore. 4.4. Get out of here.
Thank you everyone for listening. You can find us at Look Listen Cast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Thank you to Keith Squared for our artwork. You can find him at twitch.tv/Keith Squared.
Shouts out Professor Ticklebits for the website and the
boilerplate.
Twitch.tv/prof_ticklebits. Please recommend this podcast to all your grandmas, and send questions to looklistncast@gmail.com.
Grandmas.
Diane is all of our favorite character.
Why don't you like the video? Why don't you send a comment? Write a comment in the YouTube. Send an email. You had a good time. Don't lie. You're telling me you're listening to this and you weren't entertained? Are you not? What's that from, Taylor? Are you not entertained? Is it from Gladiator?
It's from last season of Pokemon.
Is it from Gladiator?
Yes.
Goodbye, everybody. We're going to say goodbye a number of times. And next week, excitingly, we're going back to the past, Samurai Jack.
Oh, we're reviewing Samurai Jack? It's such a good show.
Season 1 of Samurai Jack. No,
Sick.
We're going back to Kalos with Baby Roy and Ult learning how to Mega Evolve in the past. That'll be fun.
Oh, this better not be like the darn, I don't know if it's Sabaody or what, but the flashback in One Piece after the War of the Best is not a great arc.
Okay, you already had an anime minute, so I don't know what you're trying to get away with with your 4.4 and double anime minutes. Geese, please say goodbye a lot of times. Taylor, you're allowed one goodbye. In an anime.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. These people like
goodbye.
2 more. Maybe one more goodbye.
Bye.
Terrible.
Bye.
Oh my God.
Bye. Howdy, y'all. It's me, Geese Peep. Thank you for listening to the Geese Peep Productions podcast.
Geese Peep Enterprises, doing business as Peep Industries, together with its subsidiaries, is a diversified worldwide entertainment company with operations in media networks, talent management, parks and resorts, multimedia entertainment, and consumer products and interactive media. Geese Peep Enterprises is a Bell 30 company.